Hi, this is Laura Rice. I'm from Ascribe, and today I will be teaching you how to use the Group Topics tool or the grouping tool in Ascribe to organize your findings. So we'll be organizing our findings. I am working with a data set, the Fitness NPS project, and I have asked the system to auto group it when I loaded the data in. I did not apply an existing taxonomy, and I did use the standard Ascribe rule set, just so you know. So we're going to go directly into the grouping tool just to get an understanding of how we can organize this data. So the grouping tool allows us to customize the findings into categories that make sense to us, and then we can save those categories as a taxonomy that can then be applied to future data sets. So I'll show you right here under Apply Taxonomies. You'll notice that at the top it says Auto Group. So I can always go back to my Auto Group view if I want to, or I can apply an existing taxonomy. So I'm going to go ahead and find my Fitness 2022 version 2 taxonomy. This is my existing taxonomy, so I can always apply a taxonomy right here and then start with an existing taxonomy. Okay, that's the goal. Now, once the taxonomy has been applied, it tells me 43 groups were created, 26,472 topics have been grouped. Those topics were the original raw findings from our sentiment processor and our non-sentiment processor. Okay, so you can now see on the right side of the screen, these are the 43 groups that were in my taxonomy, and these 43 groups have been applied and the corresponding topics have been categorized. So if I expand machine equipment, you're going to see the different things that have been categorized into machine equipment. Okay, we'll come back to kind of the makeups, the components of a group in a moment, but for now I'm going to actually tell the system we're going to start fresh without any groups. So I'm going to select the 43 groups and hit delete, so that we can start fresh. So we can talk about, what it means to create a group, what makes up a group. Okay, so this is the way my team starts when we build taxonomies for customers. And what we've done is we've told the system, hey, we want to create our own categories. So the left side of the screen, these are our Ungroup Topics. The keywords are going to show me the keywords that come up most often in the Ungroup Topics. So if I hit staff, it's going to bring up all of the different topics that have something to do with staff. Now I can click the little drop down here and see, well, what are people saying along with staff? Are they saying, so some people are saying staff and desk. So I've got a lot of staff and desk comments, and if I want to actually see the responses, I can click on the number here to see the number of response or see the actual responses. The piece that has to do with this particular topic will be highlighted for me. If that piece of the response is a sentiment extract, it will be red or green. Okay, in that case it was not, but here we'll see that we do have some sentiment extracts. Okay, so now I've got all of these desk staff people, and I want to take these topics and I want to create a group. So what I've done is I can click on the little 0 here beside the keywords, and it selects all of those topics. It selects the 34 topics that have something to do with staff and desk. I can pull those over, and I'm going to create a group. It's called Front Desk Staff. And now you'll notice that the search has both staff, a double ampersand, and then desk. What this is a regular expression. It's a little program that, since that's what I searched for by using my keyword staff and then anything that contains both staff and desk, it will actually remember this search for when I save this taxonomy and want to apply it later. Okay, so I've got one group called Front Desk Staff. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete. There we go. I'm going to delete that. All right. And now what I might want to do is maybe I want to look for people that we're mentioning or topics that contain staff or employee. This is an important operator. It is the shift backslash. It is the bar symbol. So I'm telling the system, bring up any topics that have something to do with staff or employee. So now I've got all the topics that have something to do with staff or employee, and I can see staff, employee mentioned here. And we've got some cleaning stuff going on here. Okay, so I might say, hey, show staff and employee and cleaning. Or I might even change this and clean. There we go. And hit search to just expand it a little further. And what this is doing is saying, hey, anytime a topic contains staff or employee and clean, you know, return it for me. So now I have all of those topics, and I can pull them over and create. Anytime that you see something like that, you can undo and then redo. I can pull it over and then create my clean staff group. Now I have two groups, front desk staff and cleaning staff, and I might change this. You can edit the names of the groups at any point in time. So two groups so far. Let's go ahead and get one more group, and then we're going to save our taxonomy, and I'm going to show you how that works. So let's go ahead and let's look for teacher, instructor, and maybe even class. Okay, so now I've got things about teacher, instructor, and class. I'm looking through these. There might be some that I don't want, some that I do want. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to include class there. I'm going to go ahead and hit search. So now I've got teacher, instructor, all the mentions about teachers and instructors over here on the left side. Now I could tell the system, well, let me search also on the right to see if there's anything in my current groups that have to do with teacher and instructor. Nothing to do with my current groups with teacher and instructor, so that's okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and select all of my topics. Now, if you see something here that you wouldn't want to include, you can control click and remove things. So control click, shift click works. But in this case, just to kind of get this done, I'm going to pull this over, and now I've got instructor. I've got a group called instructor. I'm going to clear my search. Now I have three groups here: instructor, front desk staff, and cleaning staff. Maybe we'll do one more. Let's go ahead and look for lock and pull anything that has to do with locker over. So now I've got, you know, a locker room group, and I don't want it to be dirty locker room. I want it to just be locker rooms. And in this case, I might change my regular expression so that it has some parameters. I don't want it to pick up clock, but I want it to pick up anything that starts with lock. So locker, locking, lock. But again, I don't want it to pick up clock. So now I've got my locker room group created. You'll notice here doesn't unlock outer doors, one staff person. So here I actually want this to stay in front desk staff, so I'll leave that alone. I will clear my search, and now I have my four groups. At the bottom, it says I started with my fitness 2022 version 2 taxonomy. It's telling me it's changed. Well, it's changed quite a bit. I deleted all my groups and started fresh. So what I want to do is save this as a new taxonomy. And I'm going to save this as Lara Fitness Demo 2022 and hit OK. So now we have a new taxonomy, Lara Fitness Demo 2022, that is active in this particular CXI. Okay. It's a little bit about the functionality. If I did decide that I wanted front desk staff and cleaning staff to come together, I could always drag cleaning staff into front desk staff and then change this to just staff. Okay, so that's something I can do. Notice that it does keep the, it did keep the expression for the cleaning staff. It combined it as well. At any point in time, again, we can hit undo, and it will undo all the steps that we took. So now we're back to cleaning staff and front desk staff. We can also delete individual topics from a group. We can actually search. Let's say that if there was something we wanted to remove out or break out separately, we could do so by doing a quick search. So let me just say I'm going to look for rude, and we've got two people that are talking about rude. So I can now move those out, and I could create my own group with them, or I could actually delete these individual mentions if I wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and clear that. Another thing to point out is anytime we make changes, again, this little asterisk will show up down here at the bottom. If you want to save those changes now, I would hit save to existing, and I would say yes, I want to save to Lara Fitness 2022 demo, and hit OK, and would save any of the changes that I've made. Everything that I do here is reflected in my dashboards. So while I'm working in the grouping tool, I'm working with both the sentiment process, both the sentiment findings and the non-sentiment findings. Okay, so all my dashboards are being updated to show just those things in bold. Those are the groups that I've created. Okay, so I'm going to go back. And when you have a taxonomy, you can use that taxonomy, you can leverage that taxonomy at the beginning when you load your data in, or you can leverage that taxonomy at any point in time. So I can go back to my original fitness, my fitness 2022. Here we go. Hit OK. And this could be my starting point, okay, with these 43 groups. A group is made up of a group name that can be edited, regular expressions, and you can have as many regular expressions as you need. In this case, I had to put dumbbell, dumb, kettle bar, and bell. I put it on its own line so that it would only bring these things over if they were mentioned with bell. So I have shared an expressions, a CXI expression sheet, regular expression sheet with you, and that details the ampersands, the bars, and the parameters for those words. One of the words that I often like to demonstrate is fee. So if I was looking for people that just said fee, F-E-E, then I would need to say, okay, I want to do an angle bracket, fee, angle bracket, hit enter, and now it would bring up just those that we're talking about fee. So we've got monthly fee, annual fee. We've got it today. You'll see I've got fees here and fee. It's in my price value cost group. Okay, so the parameters are there so that the boundaries are there so that we can actually make sure that we're getting, we're telling it where to start and where to end. So yeah, so that's what we have for grouping today. If you have questions or need to schedule a training session, please reach out to lara.rice@goascribe.com and we will get you a session scheduled. Have a great day.